Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today on the Man Blitz. I'd just like to take a moment to remind you to follow us on Twitter at Man Blitz. Visit us at www.3manblitz.com. You can listen to us on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcast, Breaker. And don't forget to view us on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and hit the like button. Thanks, guys.
Hey, guys. Welcome into another episode of the Man Blitz. You got me, Jeremy. You got Andrew up top. You got Kwesi on the bottom there. Say hello, fellas.
What up, guys?
What's good?
So this episode, we are going to take a quick look into the Kentucky Wildcats. And as of the recording of this episode, we are 4 days away. 4 days until the start of SEC college football.
Yes, sir. Let's go. We're about to tackle that week one preview as well, so make sure you guys tune into that.
Yeah, make sure you give that a good listen or watch So who wants to start? We're going to take shots.
Cracking a cold one, buddy. Kwesi's like, I'm so drunk.
I got some honey over here.
That's good.
You got some honey?
So this is our third episode of the night, so we've all been drinking a little bit, so bear with us.
Please bear with us. All right, guys, so we're going to keep this one short and sweet.
Short and sweet.
Because we've got a college football week one coming up. We're going to pound that video out. So I'm just going to do a few facts. I didn't do the I didn't do my star players this week, so you guys are going to have to forgive me. But fact number one about the Wildcats, Bear Bryant actually started his head coaching career there. Okay. He got his head coaching job at the University of Kentucky in 1946. He coached at UK through 1953 before departing to Texas A&M. And he had a SEC championship team with an 11-1 record in 1950.
Wow.
Yeah. Kentucky's football program can claim something many other football programs cannot. It has had a player taken number one overall in the NFL draft. Many of you remember former Wildcats quarterback Tim Couch in the 1999 NFL draft. He went number one overall to, anybody know?
I don't remember who went to Browns.
Yeah.
Yes. Browns.
The Cleveland Boo Boos.
That's what I said.
Yeah. The Boo Boo Browns.
The Boo Boos. Although Kentucky's first showdown with Louisville on the gridiron took place more than 100 years ago, the Cats and Cards have only squared off 27 times in the history of their rivalry. Oh. Well, I mean, it's more than that now. When this article was published, it was 27 times. But they actually played 6 times from 1912 to 1924, and then took a 70-year hiatus to 94. They play for the Governor's Cup.
The Governor's Cup?
The Governor's Cup.
The Governor.
Governors.
The Governor.
That's way in Kentucky.
And they have a historic rivalry versus the Tennessee Vols. Kentucky's biggest rival in most sports is Louisville. No other football program has faced the Wildcats more than the Tennessee Vols.
We've owned Kentucky.
Absolutely. Tennessee has owned that.
Even through our crappy years.
Is that rivalry, that game called anything?
It's not. It's no fun name for this one.
It's not a real right.
Kentucky thinks it's a rivalry. Tennessee doesn't care.
It's like almost every East team has a rivalry with the other one.
I mean,
Tennessee, Georgia, it's a rivalry game. I'm like, no, it's not.
It's really not. I mean, you got a few. You got like Georgia,
what they'll
Florida.
say is it's a border war. Like
border war. There we go. It's a border war.
There's certain Tennessee fans who may have a hatred towards certain teams. So in other words, I'm a Michigan fan, but I have more of a hatred towards Notre Dame than I do Ohio State.
Oh,
both of my rivals.
Yeah,
and I know you have more of a hatred towards Florida than
Bama.
Yeah. So you think there's some Tennessee fans that have a hatred more towards Kentucky than other teams?
No.
Okay.
I think it's pretty much – there may be somebody that just hates Kentucky. I don't know why they would. But from what I've noticed, it's all of the older fans are usually more like they can't stand Alabama. And more of your younger generation hates Florida for a Tennessee perspective.
And the last fact I have is Kentucky – it's ugly. Kentucky had a 35-game losing streak versus the Florida Gators, which was broken back in 2018.
Yeah.
with on the definitely ran on the legs of Benny Snell back
Benny
when
Snell
he
Jr.
was. Yeah, Benny Snell was it, man. He was the end all be all of Kentucky running backs.
That's
Was that
right.
2018?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
2018.
18.
So that was the year. That was the year after. That was the year
streaks,
after
man.
Tebow left.
Oh no, Tebow
2 years
left.
after.
Tebow left a long time
2000
before that. It was like
2010.
That's when Tebow left.
yeah, it's been a while for Tebow.
Wow.
Tebow mania.
You see
Thank
how many
God.
drinks you had, dog?
I'm just saying, it didn't seem like that long ago.
Kwesi ain't keeping up with most SEC stuff. He don't care about
No.
SEC stuff.
Yeah,
Let's-
but Tebow.
Let's talk about don't get me started. It's Kentucky. We're talking about Kentucky. Let's get started a little bit. Highlights on Kentucky's offense. So the big news last year, it was Terry Wilson, which was the starting quarterback, got hurt. Their backup quarterback got hurt. They had to bring in Lynn Bowden Jr., who was a receiver. They started him as like a Wildcat running back, and he tore it up.
He did.
They were a smash mouth running football team. They very rarely threw it, and they did well. They did very well. They went real old school. They ran all the time. They had a decent defense, and they ran the ball. They've got a good couple of running backs, Asim Rose, Chris Rodriguez Jr., and my favorite is like Kwesi Smoke. It's got to be right up there with the best nomination for best college player name.
DeAndre Swift, bro. Swift is a great running back name.
Smoke.
DeAndre Swift is a great running back name.
I mean,
He
I
got a
understand.
song
but-
named after him, man.
Exactly. Come on.
Pastor Cavassier.
Kwesi. Anyway,
Yeah.
so Lynn Bowden is gone, but you got Terry Wilson, who should be coming back, and he is healthy. So they're looking forward to having a more explosive offense. They're still going to want to run the football. Their running backs accounted for almost 2,000 yards rushing last year in that three-headed monster. There was some talk about Joey Gatewood possibly giving Terry Wilson a push for a starting job, but he's still not been cleared to play.
Which is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
It's
Seeing
ridiculous.
As they said that once they said the NCAA that this season it wouldn't count against anybody's eligibility, everybody should be cleared to play no matter what, because what's the point?
Well, let me throw this in there. Just kind of think about it for a minute. I think Auburn has a hand in Joey Gatewood's eligibility, and Kentucky plays Auburn week 1.
I've heard that.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, they're like trying to actively block it from happening. I don't know why. I think it would still be Terry Wilson, honestly, as the starting quarterback, especially now that it's went this late. I mean, we're starting 4 days away. So anyway, let's talk a little bit about the wide receivers. Bryce Oliver, Allen Daly Jr., Clevin Thomas, and Josh Ali should be your starting 4 receivers. And I've got 4 out there because they do like to spread it out quite a bit. They have one of the best offensive lines in the SEC. Landon Young, left tackle, Kenneth Horsey, left guard, offensive, the center, Drake Johnson, right guard, Luke Fortner, and right tackle, Darian Kennard. They're supposed to be really deep in their offensive line, which makes a lot of sense. If you watched them at all last year, they were really good running the football. So they match up really good with a lot of teams, being able to pound it out, and take the opposing team's offense off the field. So, like, maybe Georgia last year they might have technically lined up good with, even though I think they got destroyed.
That game was a slugfest. I loved every minute of it. Pouring rain, nothing. I mean, like, we weren't even passing the ball. Neither team was. It was just running down each other's throats, man.
Ball
that was
security, who could run it better.
That was an ugly game, dude, and I loved it.
So, yeah, that's basically what I've got for Kentucky. Mark Stoops is there. I think he's done a pretty good job. I see Kentucky on the rise. In the East, I think a general consensus is that it's either Georgia or Florida this year kind of vying for the top spot in the East. And then right below that, I can see it as Tennessee, Kentucky vying for that 3rd spot and maybe trying to scratch their way up to one of those top 2 spots with some upsets. But I like Kentucky. I think they're really underrated. They've got a lot of hype coming in, so I don't know if you can say they're underrated this season. But one of my big questions is how is Terry Wilson going to do? How well is he going to be able to throw the football? How are they going to look with him at QB now? They should look really good. And like I said, Mark Stoops, he's 44-44, so he's exactly even through 7 years. And this year it's going to be kind of a toss-up.
He's made a turnaround in this program, that's for sure.
He has. A lot of those losses came in the first couple of years.
Yeah. I mean, you got to build, you know. But I'm not super high on Terry Wilson, only because I haven't seen anything super impressive about him. I mean, he has the experience, which is something that even I, as a Georgia fan, we don't have that. We don't have that this season. There's a lot of teams that don't have any experience coming back this season.
So he has one good thing working for him, which is that fantastic run game. So if they go the traditional run teams, attack where they're probably running 70-30 or even 80-20, that 20 needs to be a ton of play action pass because there'll be a lot of receivers open.
Yeah,
a lot.
There will be.
There should be. So he just has to be a little accurate, just a little accurate. That's all I've got. Kentucky.
Gotcha. And for the defense, as you said, I do see Kentucky on the rise. They are a lot better than people think they will be, but I don't think they'll be dominating. But I think they're a good team, but not a great team. For the defense, they do have Brian White as a coordinator. He did a very good job last year. Going to keep on doing his thing. He had a lot of returning players. Got 7 of the top tackles coming back. So that's definitely going to help solidify their defense. Probably led by Chris Oates, who's a junior. Was a killer last year. Again, they're going to do pretty well. And then their leading pass was Jamar Watson.
Oh, yeah.
So, again, having those 2 guys back is going to help definitely solidify that defense. And, again, I don't think they'll make huge noise in the SEC, but they will get some wins, unexpected wins, let me say it like that.
No doubt.
And I would not be surprised, honestly, with the improvement he's made. Kentucky is ranked 23, by the way, for those who are wondering. With the improvement he's made, that Mark Stoops would not get another offer from another school to go somewhere else where he might have better success recruiting.
Might. Andrew, do you happen to have their schedule pulled up?
I do, my friend. I have it pulled up right now. Game 1 at Auburn on 9/26. Yeah. I can honestly see an upset here. I'm not going to call it. I'm not going to go out on a limb and call it, but it wouldn't surprise me to see it.
Yeah, the big thing for me in that game is Bo Nix. If Bo Nix looks to be like the quarterback he was last year as a true freshman, and he evolves and takes that next step, it's going to be tough to beat Auburn in Auburn. Yeah. First game, all the preparation time. And they seem to be healthy from COVID, by the way, Auburn. From what I've seen, I think Malzahn just came out and said that there's no cases. They're all 100%. So I'd have to take Auburn in that game.
Yeah. Moving on, Kentucky at home versus Ole Miss. I think Kentucky takes that game. And then, you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
Kentucky at home versus Mississippi State. Those are 2 interesting games back-to-back. Both new head coaches, both known for their high-powered offenses. I think if Kentucky can take care of Ole Miss, I think that they handle Mississippi State fairly easily. I think they're ready for them.
Yeah, I think they have a better shot at beating Mississippi State than they do Ole Miss because John Rice Plumlee. If Plumlee's on and he's running around, I don't know. That could be more of a toss-up game. But Mississippi State, I think they got that one in the bag.
Plumlee's nuts, dude.
He is good.
Moving on, for the sake of time, we're going to keep moving pretty quick, and then you guys kind of give me what you think the record's going to be out of these 10 games. At Tennessee, Georgia
Tennessee's
at
gonna
Kentucky.
Destroy them. Go ahead.
Yeah, Georgia at Kentucky, Kentucky at Missouri, Vanderbilt at Kentucky, Kentucky at Alabama. Ugh. Kentucky at Florida. Ooh.
Yeah, they got a couple bad ones there.
South Carolina at Kentucky.
Yeah, so like I said, Tennessee, I think Tennessee takes care of Kentucky. I do think it'll be a close game. That's at Neyland Stadium. Georgia's going to take care of business and destroy Kentucky in that game. Kentucky turns the tables on Missouri. I've got Missouri going pretty bad this year. I don't think they're going to do well. Also beating Vandy. Vandy's about in the same boat as Missouri, if not worse. They're trending down. They're not trending the right way. Back-to-back away games at Alabama and Florida is almost unfair. It's just not cool. They're going to lose both of those handily. It's not going to be close. And then the South Carolina game, I think it'll be closer than what most people were looking, and I'll probably give Kentucky the edge.
Yeah, I'm going to go wild here and give Kentucky – I'm going to give them Mississippi State for sure. I'm going to give them Missouri, Vanderbilt. And I'm going to give them South Carolina. And I'm going to say they pull an upset in here between Auburn, Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, or Florida. I'm just going to say that there's an upset in there. I'm not certain enough to say which game it's going to be.
It'd be Florida, believe it or not. It depends on how the season's going. If Florida's rolling and they're doing well, no dice.
I'm comfortable giving them a 6-4 though.
6-4. Let's see. I'd do a toss-up between the Mississippi teams. Missouri, Vandy for sure. South Carolina, give them the edge. That's 3. I'd say Florida's probably like 4 wins.
Yeah.
Ceiling 6. Yeah. So, I don't know. I think Kentucky will be fun to watch, if anything. If you enjoy football, I think they're going to hit hard on defense. They're going to have an entertaining, if you like football, type of offense. It's not going to be high-flying by any means, but it'll be good. I like it. Kwesi, what do you think? What do you think about Kentucky, man? What do you think?
I think
What do you think about the Wildcats?
I think it will be like 6-4.
Kwesi with me on this one. I'm okay giving them the high side a little bit.
Yeah, I am too. Especially during this, what I've learned over this COVID experience is that a lot of teams that you expect to do, a certain way aren't doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I know this is a Kentucky video, but like, look at Marshall, man.
Yeah,
they've come out and like destroyed teams that it should have been a close game or that should have beaten them. Like, some people are just prepared and some are not.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. That week 1 will tell you a ton, and especially, I mean, if Kentucky comes out and destroys Auburn, hey, I don't know.
Yo.
Hey, you go ahead and board the hype train because it's the only thing anybody's going to be talking about.
Exactly.
Kentucky Wildcats.
All right, Wildcats. Thanks for joining us as we wrap up our tour around the SEC. We've done the West. This is our last episode of the East.
Yes.
And we are now ready, thank God, for week
Football.
1 of SEC football.
Yes.
Starting September 26th, 4 days away. We're going to give you a breakdown on that. Make sure you check out that video.
Sir.
And as always, guys, go for 3.
Go for 3. Big Ten's playing football.
Yes, sir.